In this video, we're going to be checking out RINKKE's cases for the brand new iPhone 16 Pro Max. Now, the reason why I personally like RINKKE is because their cases are very affordable, they're very stylish, and they also offer your phone some good protection. I've personally used some of RINKKE's cases on my phones in the past, and I absolutely love them, and I know that you will too. And by the end of this video, you'll know which one of these cases are right for you. So let's get started. So here we have the RINKKE Fusion Clear with MagSafe. So here is the case itself. As you can see, it is crystal clear. We've got that MagSafe ring on the back. It's got a nice hard backing surrounded by a firmer rubbery type edge. It's also got these two protectors on the back and the inner portion of the case that you're going to want to remove before you put your phone inside the case. So first we'll remove the inner portion. We'll put our phone inside the case. Goes in the phone really well. Buttons are nice and clicky, easily accessible. We've got our little camera cutout button on the side. Very nice. It's got a little bit of a grip to it as well. If we take a look at it from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge around the front of our phone. I also do not have a tempered glass screen protector on the front of my phone either. You can see that it does keep the phone fairly slim as well. We've got these little airbags in the corners for some extra drop protection. We've got our separated volume buttons with our action button. We have a lanyard hole on the side. On the bottom, we have our cutouts. There you can see those little bubbles in the corners. On the other side, we have our power button and our cutout for our camera. On the back again, nice and clear, shows off the color of your phone. We have that protector. You can see how nice and clear that is. We've got our MagSafe ring, and we also do have a nice raised edge around our camera lenses as well. Now, as far as fingerprints goes for the back of the phone, I don't really see any smudges, anything like that, but I'm sure depending on how dirty your fingers are, how greasy, you will, tend to see some more fingerprints on the clear cases. But me just touching the back of the phone with some, clean hands, I don't really see any smudges or fingerprints, which is definitely a plus. RINKKE also has some anti-yellowing capabilities for their cases as well. But in my experience, over the long haul of having this phone, especially maybe after a year or 2 years, you will see some slight discoloration in any clear case that you're going to get. And if you do happen to have a MagSafe accessory, like I've got a MagSafe power bank, you can simply clip it onto the back of the case and it will start to charge your phone. And it does seem to have a pretty good hold on the back of the phone as well. You don't have to worry about your MagSafe accessory just kind of falling off. It does seem to be on there pretty good. And if you don't happen to have a MagSafe accessory to charge your phone, you can still use a regular wireless charger as well. So that is a pretty nice clear case. You're just looking for something simple, again, to keep your phone fairly protected while keeping your phone pretty slim as well. And here we have the RINKKE Rugged Gear case. So here is the case itself. It does seem pretty nice. Very aggressive edges to keep your phone safe if you happen to drop it. It's got some texture on the back of the case. It's also fairly hard. It does flex a little bit. And again, on the sides, it's got a nice firmer rubbery type of material. Goes in the phone really well. Feels really good in the hand. It does have some textured buttons and texture on the side to help with grip. It is not slippery at all. I do like the little bumps for your camera buttons and your volume buttons and power buttons. They are textured again. Feels really good in the hand. If we take a look at it from the side, you can see it does have a raised edge around your screen. I do like these aggressive buttons on the side. You can see that the side of the case itself has texture, but the buttons also have kind of like a knurling to them, and they're also separated, which I absolutely love. I like how nice and big those are too. Very easy to press. We also have the reinforcements in the corners as well. We have our lanyard hole on the bottom. There are cutouts for our charging. On the other side, we have our cutout for our camera button. And again, the knurling on that power button, very nice and aggressive. On the back of the case, again, you've got that a very subtle, rough texture on the back of the case. And we also have some more protection for our camera lenses, not only the raised edge, but in between the cameras as well. Makes it nice and flush. It looks really nice. Very cool looking case. This is definitely going to be one of my favorites. And on the back of the case, I don't know if you guys can see this, it's got up and down for the volume, and it looks like mode for your action button. And it's got power written for the power button. And there's nothing for the camera. That is a really nice looking case. Buttons. They feel really good when you press them. You can feel the kind of like knurling on the buttons. Very easy to find and press. That camera button on the bottom, very easy to press as well. And you can still access the top and the bottom of your phone very easily too. I think this is definitely going to be one of my favorite cases. And you can also see that it doesn't really add a lot of extra bulk to your phone. Now this case does not have MagSafe built in, but you can still use regular wireless charging to charge right through the case. I know I said it twice already, but this is definitely going to be on my list of favorite cases. Looks really cool and it feels good in the hand. Then here we have the RINGKE Silicone case with MagSafe built in. Here is the case. Looks really nice, feels nice and smooth. It's got that soft silicone type material covering the outside, and it's got a nice microfiber on the inside to help keep your phone free from scratches. You can also see the MagSafe ring, and it's got that more protection for your cameras as well. So this case has a nice hard backing surrounded by kind of like a silicone covered edge. In some portions of the case it's stiff, and then where the buttons are it's definitely flimsier. So put our phone inside the case. Fits the phone really well, feels good in the hand. It doesn't really have a grip to it. It's more smooth. It's not slippery, but it is smooth because of that silicone. Buttons are very easy to press. They're not as prominent as some of the other cases. They're very kind of subtle on the sides, but again, you can very easily press them. Feels good in the hand. If we take a look at it from the side, you can see it does have a nice raised edge around the front of our screen, and it also doesn't add a lot of extra bulk to your phone. On the sides here, we've got our separated volume buttons and our action button, our lanyard hole on the bottom, cutouts on the bottom. We've got our power button and our cutout for our camera button. On the back, again, it's covered in that nice soft silicone, and we also do have a nice raised edge for our cameras and the extra protection in between as well. The only thing you need to keep in mind with something like this that covers the cameras totally is if you are using camera protectors, you might not be able to use this case. But it does look pretty nice. And again, if you happen to have a MagSafe accessory like I have this power bank, you can clip it right onto the back and it starts to charge your phone immediately. And it also does seem to have a pretty nice hold on there as well. So it's not going to just fall off your phone. And again, you can also use this with regular wireless charging too. Now, one thing I also wanted to look at is because the buttons were a little softer on the sides, you can see that it doesn't take much for the edge to kind of be pulled away from the phone itself, but where there aren't any buttons, it's very firm. You got kind of like this little piece here. So that's just one thing that you might have to keep in mind over the long run. It's fine right now, but maybe after a year or so, the little sides here might become a lot softer and kind of peel away from the phone a little easier. But as for right now, it does look like a really nice case. And then here we have the RINGKE Fusion X case. This is another one of my favorites. So here is the case. It does have a nice hard clear backing to show off the color of your phone, and it's got some nice aggressive edges and buttons on this too. There's also a protector on the back and the inside of the case you will need to remove before you put your phone inside. So we'll just remove that really quick. We can put our phone inside the case. Fits the phone really well, feels great in the hand. It's got some nice texturing on the sides to help with grip, and the buttons are also kind of angled and textured. Really nice. Buttons are nice and clicky, easily accessible. If we take a look at it from the side, you can see it still has a nice raised edge around the front of the phone to protect your screen. It does add a little bit of extra bulk on the bottom of the case, but for the rest of the phone, it's still fairly slim. We've got those really aggressive edges to help with drop protection. You can see the action button has a texture to it. There's also some texture on the side of the case itself, and here are the volume buttons. We've got our lanyard hole on the bottom, our cutouts. Here is the power button. Again, that's nice and textured. We've got the cutout for our camera button, another lanyard hole. On the back of the case, again, it is nice and clear to show off the color of your phone. We'll just remove this sticker. And you can see it's nice and clean. As far as fingerprints goes, again, with all of these clear cases, you're going to see some sort of fingerprints when your fingers are kind of oily or dirty. But if they're fairly clean, you're really not going to see too many fingerprints on the back. We also do have a nice aggressive edge to protect our cameras as well, and these little bumps on the corners, so when you put your phone on its back, you don't have to worry about the phone just kind of rocking all over the place, which I can definitely appreciate. We've got some grip on the edges here. Again, those little aggressive kind of nubs in the corners. Definitely a really nice case. And again, like I mentioned, this is another one of my favorite cases. Now, this case doesn't have a MagSafe built in, but again, you can still wirelessly charge right through this case. And here we have the RINGKE Onyx with MagSafe built in. This is another one of my favorite RINGKE cases, and they've upgraded it with the MagSafe, which I absolutely love. So this case is a little bit more flexible than some of the others. It's got a very subtle rough texture on the back, surrounded by a kind of rubbery type material on the sides. And again, we do have the MagSafe ring in the inside. Goes in the phone really easily, feels good in the hand. It does not have a real grip to it. It's not slippery, but it is smooth, kind of like a smooth plastic feel. Buttons, nice and clicky, easily pressable. And if we take a look at the case from the side, you can see how it keeps the phone nice and slim. We still do have a raised edge around the front of the screen. On the side here, we have a very subtle texturing with our volume buttons and our action button. There is also a little bit of an extra bump in the corners to help with drop protection. We have our lanyard hole in the bottom, cutouts as well. Another lanyard hole. We've got our cutout for our camera button and our volume power button. And on the back again, there's that subtle texturing you can see, and there's also a camera bump on the back that does come up a little bit higher than the camera lenses themselves. Very nice, simple case, adds some protection while keeping the phone fairly slim. And again, it's got MagSafe built in. So we'll take our MagSafe power bank, clip it right onto the back, and it starts to charge your phone. And just like all the other RINGKE MagSafe cases, it's got a good enough hold to where you don't have to worry about your MagSafe accessory just falling off the back of the phone. And again, this also works with regular wireless charging. And again, one of my personal favorites is just something very simple to give your phone some protection and keep your phone nice and slim. And then here we have the RINGKE Fusion Bold case. And here is the case itself. As you can see, the back is nice and clear. It's also very firm, surrounded by a softer rubbery type material on the sides. This also does have a protector on the inside and outside that you're going to want to remove before we put our phone inside the case. So we'll do that now. We'll put our phone inside the case. Feels nice in the hand. It's got a little bit of a kind of grip to it because of the texture on the sides. Buttons are nice and clicky, easily pressable. If we take a look at it from the side, you can see that it does have a slight raised edge around the front of the screen. On the side here, we have that slight texturing with the separated volume buttons and our action button. There's a little bit of an extra bump in the corners for that extra drop protection. Our lanyard hole in the bottom. We have our cutouts. We have another lanyard hole here, that slight texturing on the side. Cutout for our camera button, our power button. And on the back again, it's nice and clean, clear. To show off the color of your phone. For fingerprints, again, as long as your fingers are nice and clean, you're really not going to see too many fingerprints. And we do have a nice raised edge around our camera lenses as well. RINGKE's got some really nice camera rings to protect your lenses, which I absolutely love. Some other cases, they just almost come flush with the cameras, which I don't really understand. But that is a nice, clean case. And you can also use this case with regular wireless charging. One other thing to note about the buttons on this case is they're a little more subtle than some of the other cases as well. They just kind of barely come off the case. So you may have some trouble finding it when it's in your pocket. But if you're just holding it normally like this and looking at it, you can very easily access those buttons. Just something to keep in mind. So out of all these cases, my two favorites definitely have to be the Rugged Gear and the Fusion X cases. But what do you guys think? Which one of these was your favorite and why? Let me know in the comments below. And if you guys want to pick any of these cases up yourself, I will be putting product links in the video description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.